2023 from Las Vegas. And honestly, I wasn't planning on doing as many podcasts as I've done today with Rod being gone. But dude, I keep meeting amazing people and amazing products. And I'm like, all right, we're doing another one. So I am here with the Detail Kid. You know him, Steve
Hello.
Thompson, and Mr. Alex from Braun Brushes. Max. See, I did that on purpose to have you check.
There you go.
So I have Max. So sorry. Like we were joking about how I keep messing up on names because it has been, I've talked to that many people in the last 4 days. So
I believe
Yep.
and I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, I sure have.
So let's talk about the brush you can trust.
Yeah.
So you are,
Detail Kid.
I know, we know that you're a Detail Kid, but how are you involved with Braun Brush?
So we reached out to Max and we were asking like, hey, we wanted to work with you guys because you guys are almost 150 years old and you
Wow,
guys,
you're 150?
148
Dude,
a week
you
ago.
look good.
Yeah.
and so we found out you guys had brush on the rover on Mars, right?
Yep,
On Mars.
on the planet Mars, one of the rovers.
And we just thought it was so cool how you guys created the wheel woolly, and we wanted to hook up with you because my dad knows you guys have the most reliable brushes. And so we talked for several months,
We did.
and you sent out some product
Mm-hmm.
for me to try, and then we came to SEMA, and then here we are.
So let's talk about the Braun family. I mean, obviously you guys have
Yeah.
been around a long time.
Yep.
So obviously you're not just doing brushes for detailing.
We're not. So we have been, as Steven said, we've been around for 148 years. A week ago was our birthday. And we make brushes for 28 different industries. Probably
Wow.
more than that.
Wow.
Braun Brush started in 1875 making brushes for the dairy industry. We made, if you remember, you don't remember.
Well,
sorry,
dude, I'm not.
You not.
You're saying I look 150
Sorry,
years
I
old?
take that back, Jody.
That's okay.
Milk bottles. So milk would have been sold in glass bottles, and the
Oh, and
milkman would bring those
so
back.
brushing the insides of the milk bottles
Exactly.
out. Wow.
So that was what my great-great-grandfather did. Figured out a way to make a brush to clean those bottles, make his job. He was working at dairies on Long Island when Long Island wasn't just suburban sprawl.
Right.
There were actually dairy farms.
Wow.
That's what he did, and it has grown over the years to include the bakery industry, aerospace. We have a brush on the planet Mars on one of the rovers, and
That is so cool.
all over.
I'm glad I titled this what I did. You didn't see the title,
didn't see the title.
but I titled it "There's a brush for that."
Yeah, there is a brush for that.
And in 28 industries, there has to be a brush for that. And what I understand is that you guys are constantly building new brushes. Somebody comes to you with an idea, and you guys will build that brush.
Yeah. So, the wheel woolly itself was originally intended for the pharmaceutical industry, and it was picked up by a detailer in the UK that called it the wheel woolly. Whatever name we were calling it was not the most sexy name. So he called it the wheel woolly. We used that name, and it just kind of was a technology that worked for the automotive industry, and it's now grown to be one of our biggest industries. So
that's amazing. And I'm looking over at this wall over here. You have American-made flag going on.
Yep.
And there's probably 20-something brushes over there that are specifically designed for detailers.
Right, exactly. And just an interesting note about that flag. That flag is also made out of brush, and we do that as another industry. We do entire walls out of brush and ceilings and architectural settings in Microsoft and
maybe you guys should start doing AstroTurf.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
obviously you're leaning pretty hard on that brush. So what does that brush do?
This is a wheel woolly.
So wheel woolly for
Yeah.
what?
I
For
don't
a
know.
semi or a big old, I mean, that is a big brush.
Like it's sitting on the ground next to me. It's almost as tall as me, and I'm 5'4".
Yeah. So where do you guys typically sell that brush into?
So we actually haven't sold that brush.
Oh.
To your point that we're constantly playing and innovating and seeing what we can do. We build all of our own equipment for making these brushes. So we wanted to see what the limits of our machine was. And this actually isn't the biggest we could make. It was just the biggest we could ship to the show.
Wow.
So we can make quite a bit bigger than that.
Because I was thinking about, those huge industrial trucks and ground movers and stuff. And if somebody was detailing something like that, they would need a brush that size.
Someone watching this has an idea, let us know, because we haven't sold one yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do people connect with Braun Brush?
So Braun Brush, to my dad's credit, bought brush.com back when the internet was a new idea that might not take off. So we have brush.com. You can get us through that. We are starting to build a bit of an Instagram following, and max@brush.com is my email. People can reach me through that, and sales@brush.com for sales.
That's awesome. So do you have any last thing you want to share, Detail Kid? Because I know you, dude, no, I got to tell you this. I kept getting little text messages. Have you gone to Braun Brush yet? Have you gone to Braun Brush yet? Have you gone to Braun Brush yet? I'm like, I will go to Braun Brush. So obviously, you've had a huge impact, not only on the Detail Kids family, but the industry as a whole. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
So Max is the best. And the question is, how much would we sell this for?
How much would we sell that for? I don't know. We'd have to talk about that. I haven't thought about it.
There you go. They invented something and they don't have a price tag yet. So right now it's $1 million.
Right, exactly. It's a one of a kind.
It's a one of a kind.
There's
a
only
two of
three
a
in
kind.
existence.
Right.
That's awesome.
Only
Well,
three in
thank you,
existence.
Max. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, even for a little bit. So I'd love to schedule another longer podcast where we can really talk about the history of, your dad building this business. I mean, your great grandfather on Long Island. You're definitely an American brand. Proud to show that. And so kudos to you guys. And I actually do have a wheel woolly and I love it.
Awesome.
So I didn't even know who I bought it from. I just bought a wheel woolly and I love it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for tapping in. It's been an amazing 4 days at SEMA 2023. It's hard to believe that we're going to be packing up in the next couple hours, heading back home to Idaho, which I'm hoping it's not cold. Because it's like 80 degrees in Vegas and feeling amazing. And my wife's in San Diego enjoying the sun, and I'm going to go to cold. But anyway.
No.
So thank you guys, and we will check. I think I got one more episode.
One more.
That I'm going to do. I got to go run over to the North Hall. Actually thought they were here. So I went from the North Hall to the West Hall, got over here, and I'm walking down the aisle, and I'm talking to Andrew Van Order, and he goes, they're in the North Hall. I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I got to pack my stuff up and go back to the North Hall. So
feet got to hold in just for a little longer.
That's right. So anyway, you guys have a great day and we'll check you in a little bit. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, you got it. There you go.